the trains today?
Huh?
You're on the trains today?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, I'm
all right.
today.
Thanks for board.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good right here.
Please make sure that you stay seated at all times with your hands, arms, feet, legs inside. Make sure all young children are seated at the center of the row away from the vehicle opening. Supervise your children and feel free to wave to the folks as we go around the bend. Here we go. New Orleans Station, next stop.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo.
Down that way. This is the exit. This is the exit. Go down that way. Okay, yeah.
Nice trade. They got double.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a Grand Circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we steam past Hungry Restaurant, just outpost of these parts, we're now joining up with the Rivers of America and entering the frontiers that look more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the trip. Around every place, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see.
Ian, I'm still impressed. I'm still so fully impressed. I love it. So why do you figure they built it like that?
See the Indian up there?
Oh yeah.
Sharing the stories with those in the great river.
I mean, do you think there's purpose to why they built the fort the way they did there? It seems like intentional for some reason though, and I can't figure out why.
People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by older stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled as the mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains.
Hey, where's the first retaining wall that we saw them build? Are these it?
It's deep in this. Because
Is it?
Remember, they moved it much further.
Oh, that's right, they did. So it's probably maybe this right here?
Yeah.
Because actually it went up against Magic or Fantasyland Theater, right? So maybe this right here.
Actually, yeah.
This tunnel signals our
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that was terrible. So it's not that. I didn't realize this was.
And so they didn't know how to make it.
He bought one of those
Circle tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed
And we're back. I am so very glad we did that.
real soon.
Train is back in. It's worth it to come back and learn a little bit more about the history of the Disneyland Railroad. Right here in the Opera House. Look, train history. It's here.
Combine car. We saw that at D23.
Yes, I rode when I rode on that Friday.
Yes.
I sat next to the guy who is on the. He was with them. He's the guy who he was the one hosting that exhibit at the D23. This is the Combine car. It was this one right here, right?
Yeah, that's exactly that.
That was at D23. he said that Lasseter was there at the convention and he sat in there and hung out with him for a while. I hear Steve Martin in the background.
Doing the 50th anniversary video.
Yeah. The Santa Fe and Disneyland Railroad. There's the Lily Bell.
Now for a mere $85.
For just $85, you can ride in the Lily Bell. And you get a very informative tour about the history
sure
of
the
the
tour is
Disneyland
fine.
Railroad.
You know how I feel about chipping away things for
Yep,
part of the
they're
experience.
carving stuff out. They are. What is this?
Those are postcards. Well, these are postcards. That's a menu.
Child's menu served exclusively at the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, okay, it's a Disneyland
You can
Hotel.
get a ground round steak patty for $1, Ian.
You could get an ice cream for 25 cents.
Scrambled eggs for 75 cents, Ian. I wonder if they complained about the prices back then. That's outrageous. 75 cents? Why, I never.
25 cents for ice cream. My day was a penny.
Man, I could get a whole gallon of ice cream for 25 cents. It's like me and pizza at Pizza Port.
Apparently the trick is just order a gluten-free pizza. Apparently the gluten-free pizza is actually quite good.
But why is that a trick?
Because otherwise you're eating regular Pizza Port pizza, which isn't very
Oh, I see.
Right, it
It
smells-
actually tastes better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. You know, I'm working on a video about quotes from Walt about the park and.
Are you going to cover how they get misused at times too?
Well, no, it's just more like how they affect me and like what my thoughts on the park. And one of the things that I realized while I was writing this script was that, Walt is famous for saying that, he was at the park, at Griffith Park, and, at the carousel,
Yeah.
and he wanted a place.
Where parents and children can do stuff together, not just the parents sit by while the kids have.
Exactly. I think that he's just saying that, and I think.
It's both. I think it's very much both.
Well, I think what he wants is a park for him. He wants a playground for him to play in.
But even then, you want to play with the kids can enjoy too, not just him. I think that's.
But kids like him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like what he wanted was a train, like a model train set that he could live in. You know what I mean? Like, because he was fascinated with miniatures.
Yeah.
So, and model trains, miniatures, and all that stuff, and he would build little cities and villages. And he said, you know what? I want to do that, but then I want to build it like to scale, and so I could be in it. And that's kind of what I feel like is that this is. I mean, it is for us. It is for families. It is for parents and children to enjoy together because you can't really do that at the modern theme parks or amusement parks of the era. You couldn't do that, or it was less fun. But I do feel like it was more like, what do I want? That was his driving force, is what kind of park do I want to go to?
Yeah.
And that to me is like, that's what art is expressing your own personal whatever, and then putting it out there and seeing how that floats. But that's why I mentioned all that, because this photo says it all for me. That's a guy who's just as happy as can be. You know what I mean? He's probably hurting like a mother. He can't get his knees to work like that, but he's doing it, because he wants to, because it's good for him. And look at him, he's driving this train right here.
We know.
He looks a little bit like Adam the Woo right there.
Experience through to bring Mr. Lincoln. Our
My
theater show will
goodness.
begin in 5 minutes in the back lobby. To prepare to enter our theater, we do ask that we know
Salvador Dali.
inside. If you have any strollers, please park those outside.
What a weird
And
juxtaposition.
Any wheelchair accessible seating that will be available through the center doors under the brass eagle. Once again.
Now this is a thing that I keep meaning to do. This is in like Burbank or
It's over by Griffith Park.
Griffith Park, yeah. It's Walt's Barn. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, which is Walt's Barn.
Which is open like
It's only
2 weeks a month.
It's a couple.
2 weekends.
It's like 2 Sundays a month.
2 Sundays a month. Walt Disney's Carolwood Pacific switch stand. Oh my gosh! For his little tiny train. The Carolwood Pacific was the name of his train in his backyard.
This is one of 11 miniature switch stands that are custom built.
Did you? I remember the story they were retelling in the Match Behind the Trains tour at Disney World that he actually had a legal contract written up between him and his wife about what he could build.
Yeah.
You know, like what part of it could be garden and what part of it could be train in his
Yeah.
backyard. That's so Walt. So this is just like a museum of sorts where you can look at some of some of Walt's.
Luggage tag, excursion pass.
He actually had all this stuff made up.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's love. He had his own letterhead made up. Look at that. Yeah, Burbank. There you go. Wow. I need to go to this thing.
You do. But you're gonna have to pick a week to say, okay, we're gonna do this on
I know.
Sunday.
Sundays I edit. Like that's my whole day is editing video on Sunday. All right, Ian. I'm trained up. Let's go see if the Columbia's open. I think it is because the Mark Twain. No, the Columbia's not open, is it?
It's a little later in the day.
It is. So we're gonna have to. Do you think the canoes can open?
I don't know. Maybe we can canoe.
You know, Ian.
Yes.
There's no canoes like good canoes.
How many more canoe puns can we make?
I don't canoe. I cannot do this anymore. Canoe. I think he's trying to set a land speed record, Ian.
Is it a land speed record?
This isn't the Bonneville Salt Flats. My goodness. That dude's hauling. We'll take care of that. Maniac. I wonder if he covers his eyes, if he gets scared, like Ken. Main Street, USA. It only took us an hour and a half to get here, Ian.
Well, I mean, we took a Grand Circle tour around through that time, through time as well.
That's true, that's true. We did travel through time.
We went to the Grand Canyon, back to the Primeval World.
Ian, we did go to the Grand Canyon.
It takes time.
It does. You ever been to the Grand Canyon for real?
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow.
I've been to Sequoia and Kings Canyon many a time.
The Grand Canyon almost, I mean, it's kind of it's like a thing people say, but it literally does look like they just painted it right there on the landscape.
And the arcade. How much was that?
You know, I think a canoe ride in the morning is preferred as opposed to later in the afternoon
Before it starts heating up more.
before it gets too hot. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at Disneyland.
How right we are.
I wonder how excited everyone was this morning when they were getting ready to come here. Like, did they have that moment, like that we're going to Disneyland moment?
I sure hope they do.
I don't get to have that moment anymore. I get to have it when I'm here sometimes. Like, I get those feelings, like,
When I'm coming up and doing like my family trip once a year, I still get that.
Yeah.
That's because I know that they don't come all the time.
Right,
so
right.
the only time I'm here with my family is that once a year trip.
yeah.
So I get it then. And then now the times I've been to Florida, going to Florida, I get that obviously.
Oh, yeah. The Florida trip must have been almost felt like a noob, I bet.
Oh, I think I mentioned before, when I walked onto their Main Street, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I know where things are, but they're slightly different.
Right.
It genuinely felt bizarre
Yeah.
to know where things are, but at the same time not.
That's where we're heading, Frontierland. There's a canoe with our name on it. I gotta stop. I can't.